In this video, I'm going to show you how incredibly easy it is to take time-lapse videos with your phone using the newly updated Moment Pro camera app. Let's go. Hey everybody, I'm Nick with Table 19 Media, where we show you tips, tricks, equipment reviews, and tutorials to help you build your brand. If you saw one of our previous videos about the Moment Pro camera app, you noticed that we didn't have time to get out and test the time-lapse feature. So a couple days ago, I went out with my family to the pier at the state park during sunset, and I thought that would be a good time to test out the time-lapse feature. So let's jump into that. First, let me say that Moment, I think, has done a great job of simplifying the process to take a time-lapse video. There are very few settings that you really need to worry about, and it's all beautifully laid out on the screen. To get to the time-lapse feature, go to the icon in the bottom right, that's a camera or a video icon, and click that, and then click the icon all the way on the left-hand side, which looks like a pie chart. In time-lapse mode, you have a few settings at the top. One being interval, one being frames, and then the other being capture. Now the interval setting is how many photos you want taken per amount of time. So I set mine to 1 second, so every second a photo will be taken. The next setting is frames, and this is where you can decide how many frames you want to take at 1 second per frame. And then the third setting is capture, and that essentially calculates the amount of time the time-lapse will take to capture based on the amount of interval and frames. You can also set the frames to infinity, which means that once you hit the button to start shooting, it will continually shoot until you stop it. A couple other settings you want to take into consideration are on the left-hand side, and that includes the quality of the photo as far as RAW, high efficiency, or TIFF, and also the resolution. I recommend that you keep it set to max resolution and shooting in RAW. You also want to make sure that you use the reticle or reticles to set the exposure and focus in the app. Now it starts with just one reticle, which is combined focus and exposure, but if you double tap that reticle, it splits the exposure and the focus, and then you can just tap and hold on to that, and it will turn blue, which means it's locked. So that's something also very important. You don't want the exposure to be adjusting while you're taking the time lapse. Now, while I was at the pier, it was a little bit windier than I thought it was going to be. So overall, my time lapse was a little jittery. On one side, I went to the other side of the pier where I was shielded from the wind, and that ended up being a lot better of a time lapse. So that's something to take into consideration, that you have a sturdy tripod to mount your phone on, as well as being in an environment where it's really not that windy, so there's less jittering of your phone while taking the photos for your time lapse. Overall, I think it's a great addition to the Moment Pro camera app, and Moment has done a great job with keeping their app updated and adding new features all the time, and still maintaining a very user-friendly interface. So the guys at Moment, keep up the good work. Now, once you take your time lapse, you can review it in the bottom right corner from here. So let's click on this one right there. And now to export it, we can do it a few different ways. One being H.264, and then the max resolution, then the highest quality bit rate, and then choosing the frames per second. I like 24 frames per second, and then export it that way. If you just want to export the raw images by themselves, you absolutely can do that, and then import those into a timeline to export them the way you want. But if you already want a pre-packaged video, you can go with the H.264 or the high efficiency video, and make sure that you have max resolution, the highest bit rate quality, and then choose your frames per second, and then hit export. Once again, I think Moment has done a great job of simplifying the process to take beautiful time lapses just on your phone using their app. I definitely recommend that you give their app a download and try out the time-lapse feature and see what you think. Let me know in the comments your thoughts about the process, how simple it is, anything that you think they need to add or simplify, or any extra settings or features you think they should add into there. Let me know in the comments below. Also, make sure that you like this video and subscribe to this channel. We have more videos like this coming out very soon on a weekly basis. But I'm Nick with Table 19 Media. I'll see you in the next video.